in the 3 division due to the regulation of student population. So this is who we are, once a buck, always a buck. This is truly a night to remember those graduates that went on to become better and bigger persons for our community. So I leave you here with the next speaker to introduce our keynote speaker, the great coach. Inez, please.
Thank you. I'm Inez Pettis, and I was asked to introduce Coach Ragus. Played for Coach Ragus in 1963, and the tradition that for us. Okay, can you all hear me? Okay. Of course, the tradition that you all built for us was tremendous and hard to follow. But I do want to say this, that in Proverbs it states that as iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another. And Coach Ragus was that one person that came in and sharpened, several of us to be able to perform, the way that you guys perform and the way that we perform. But we were very blessed because in 1953 and I believe 1954, Coach was offered other jobs. And then when Coach Pruitt left, and he went to Baylor, and then Coach Dusty Simmons went to Carroll, and nobody really wanted the job at Miller. They didn't think that Miller had the type of players that could go anywhere. There was one man that believed in us and you, and that was Coach Ragus. And of course, the rest is history. But Coach Ragus was not only a successful coach, he was also a successful player. He was an all-district tight end at Abilene Cooper. He ran, at Abilene Christian. He also ran in the 400 relay, and I believe set a record in the conference, and tremendous athlete. And of course, went to the state championship at Miller. Right after the 63 season, he left to go to Lubbock, and he was a successful individual there too, businessman. So successful that they named an aquatic center after him, the Pete Ragus Aquatic Center. And of course, he deserves that. And of course, the gym here at Roy Miller High School, was very properly named Pete Ragus Gymnasium as well. And I know that Coach Ragus served not only as a dad to many of us, but a second dad as well. He gave us the character and the foundation that has helped us along this life. And it's with great pleasure that I present to you Coach Ragus.
After watching everybody dancing and having such a great time, I began to question the committee of why in the world do you want a speaker when everybody's having so much fun? Marcus came up and asked me if I wanted a cup of coffee, and I thought for just a minute, and I thought, well, maybe I better have a cup of coffee to stay awake for my own speech. This is just a wow weekend for Margaret and me. It's just overwhelming in every possible way. For us to be here at our age is so great, of course. At our age, it's great to be anywhere. But this is real special. All we can say over and over again is thanks for the wonderful, wonderful welcome. Your welcome is just unbelievable. This kind of welcome can bring tears to a coach's eyes 50 years after that great year. The joy of this reunion cannot be described in words. I'm going to probably say that 2 or 3 times. I hope I don't talk real long, but I will probably say that. But I realize when I stand up here as the privileged coach of that era, that your applause is not just for me, but it's for what I stand up here and represent. And I represent every single class member of that 1961 class. Our success was because of you. And I stand up here because of you. I represent my coaching staff. Sad to say that they've all passed away, but I represent them. And I guarantee you, from a coaching standpoint, I stand up here because of them. I represent the school administration, the faculty, and all of the staff members that made Miller High School function as a school. And we all are here that were part of that school because of them. I represent all of the organizations in the school. I might name 1 or 2 that were more in the limelight. Mr. Bailey and his band, they had the best band in Texas. They won contest after contest. I represent all of the other organizations. I think of the choir, Mrs. Lois Ray, what a great choir it was. And then you can go through all of the organizations. And we are all here because of them. I represent a great group of cheerleaders that kept our spirit going. And I think Butch and Myrna are here, maybe Nancy. We have some of them here this evening. And we're all representing them. And we're here because of them. I represented a great community of fans and parents. And obviously, all of us are here because of them. I represent a great school with a great history and tradition, Corpus Christi High School and Miller High School. So all of that applause is appreciated, but it's more for what I represent than for me personally. And before I move on to anything else, I'm up here, standing up here, and I represent a great, great woman, my wife of 61 years. Margaret has said over and over, the first 61 years, you people, are the hardest. And I don't like to single out people, her of course, but I just got to mention the great spirit of the school, Snuffy Creighton. You know, the joy of this 50-year reunion, as I said, cannot be described in words. To see the rejoicing as the memories flow is beyond description. And even though it is a great joy, there is also sadness because of all of those who have departed this earth. So let us remember the departed. All of our coaches are gone, all the administrators are gone, most all of the faculty and staff, all of the parents, and many, many, many of the fans, even some of your fellow students and fellow athletes. 5 of our athletes and managers off of that team have departed. You know, I love the word departed because when I'm talking about death, because it says that death is a journey. It's like going on a trip from Corpus Christi to Dallas or Houston. And so There's something beyond, is what it says when you use the word departed. So let's take a moment, just a moment, and remember all of them, because we would not be here without them. Just a moment of silence. Thank you very much. It is a very, very special honor for Margaret and me to be here. Someone was blessing us to let us be Buccaneers from 1952 to 1964. Someone has said in life, it is a blessing to be at the right place at the right time. This truly applies to being Buccaneers for us from 52 to 64. To be a part of a great school with great history, tradition, and spirit, to be a part of one of the greatest years, 60-61, and then to be asked to say a few words at the 50-year reunion, all we can say is over and over and over is thanks, thanks, thanks. Of course, we were all blessed to be at the right place at the right time. I have asked myself many, many times, what made Miller great? And I always come out with the same answer. It is the people, every last one of them. All of the people I mentioned made the history and the tradition and the spirit. I wish every single one of them could be mentioned by name. And here we are, 50 years later, rejoicing and letting the memories flow. You know, when I named the people that I represent, I did not mention the football team and the managers for a particular reason. I, of course, was the coach of that team along with our other coaches. And so I hope you will let me, just for a moment, rejoice and let the memories flow about that football team, that great football team. The 1960 team symbolized the greatness of Miller High School. The 1960 team did a lot of things, but they did 4 things that symbolized the true Buccaneer spirit and also symbolized what makes a person successful in life. The first thing they did was they overcame adversity. They lived and played in a hostile time. We had 3 ethnic groups, and we were the first team in the history of Texas football to win a state championship with black players on the team. And it's very difficult for us at this time to recognize the atmosphere in which we played our games. They also overcame adversity by overcoming an early season loss. The nightmare of Galveston that turned into a blessing. It brought us together like nothing else could do. Secondly, this team did some impossible things. One of the impossible things we did, we traveled, we had the schedule, a tough schedule, but we traveled 500 miles to play a very strong Midland team. They were in that little Southwest Conference, you know, with Odessa Permian and all those guys that are so great. We traveled 500 miles and beat a good Midland team in a very hostile atmosphere. It's almost impossible to describe the circumstances. It was the first time in the history of that stadium that a team with black players on that was playing the other team that had no black players on it. First time in the history of that school. So you could imagine the intensity level of that game. The second thing this team did, but was impossible, we beat 2 great teams twice that year. Waco and Jefferson. Both teams had great tradition, great history, great players, and a great football team. And they didn't have black players on their team either. Neither one of them. And this Buccaneer team beat them worse the second time than they did the first time. And the third thing this team exemplifies great spirit. They set a record in fumbles and mistakes and still won the state championship. We said week after week that you cannot do that and continue to win. But they fooled us. Even in the state championship game, they fumbled and still won. But they never made the fatal mistake of giving up. And the other one that's so key to life, blaming other people or blaming each other. That is a crucial mistake that they did not make. Every adversity or problem brought us closer together. And then the fourth thing and final thing that they did, this team they were pioneers. They were a team of destiny. This team made history. You know, it's nice to read history, but to make history is much greater. This is the first team in the history of Texas high school football to win a state championship with 3 ethnic groups, with black players on the team. We had 18 Anglos, 17 Hispanics, and 6 blacks. This team proved 3 races could work together in hostile times and win a state championship. Johnny Roman made the greatest statement about this team that I think's ever been made. He said, "This is the greatest story of a football team that has never been told." We know what happened in that time, but the world don't know it. And the world don't know how to get together like we got together. Let me close. You know, I was a kind of a coach of mottos. We'd always be hollering something. But I'd like to leave you in closing with 2 statements to leave on your mind that are so key to what made this football team operate and be successful. And it's also the key to life. And the first one is from a Greek philosopher. I won't pronounce his name. The title of it is The Light of Integrity. The soul is dyed the color of its thoughts. Think only on those things that are in line with your principles and can bear the full light of day. The content of your character is your choice. Day by day, what you choose, what you think, and what you do is who you become. Your integrity is your destiny. It is the light that guides your way. And I also like to get the essence of things and get down to the essence. So we like to argue about all kinds of things and not get to the essence of something. Well, I'm going to read us one little brief sentence that gives you the essence of the Bible. And it's found in Galatians, the 5th chapter, verse 6.
Oh, I know that.
The only thing that counts is faith expressing itself in love. And that's not talking about our earth love, it's talking about God's type love, a voluntary, sacrificial type love. And that's what this team had. They were willing to sacrifice themselves for the benefit of the group. And that's what made us successful, and that's what can make any individual successful in any city, state, or nation. So let us continue to rejoice and let the memories flow. Thank you very much.
I have it all.
All the football team, please. Come on.
Go, go, go.
All football players from any class. How about
All the football
all the
players.
football
Come on.
players from any class?
Okay. One more.
One bit of manager.
All right, how about the football player?
Well, they can't move. We gotta get
There's your champs.
it's too wide. Double line, double line. You better stay there for a while.
Every football player that wasn't on this team made us in 1960. We wouldn't have been in 1960 what we were without every single person in this.
Y'all still need to come in.
Come in. Sideways.
Put your guys get down on your knees if you want to.
You won't be able to do that.
You won't be able to. Dan, you won't be in the picture. You got to get in.
Right there, kneel down. There you go. Get some in front.
Close it up. Seal down.
I gotta get in here. Get in there. When you take your picture, yeah, you need to back up more like back up a little. Hi, Sarah. Back up.
I don't have these guys.
No. Okay, the front row take pictures and move on.
Y'all got to still come in a little.
Haven't taken one? No. Haven't taken yet.
Philip, you're not in it. You need to.
No, you're not. There you go. There. Okay, I'm leaving, Sarah. Stay there for a while.
Stay there.
Don't move. Okay.
Dawson, look at us.
I'm gonna get it with another one in case I got you. Squeeze in here and.
Before y'all leave, we're going to do all the graduates. So, we'll just
I can't get them all.
I can't either.
I'm in the very end.
I'm getting closer, I'm getting closer. Look at mi comadre aquí.
Let me get in there. Take a picture. It's Kim second in there. Maybe between the two we can get a.
Something nice.
Wait. Sorry. Where is Buddy?
Okay, now we need graduates. Only graduates. Everybody else. All right, wives. Are y'all wives? Are you graduates?
No.
Of 61? So you'll be in this picture. So you weren't a graduate. Would you do me? And just squeeze that.
That's right. The 61
Anybody 61?
Class of 61. Not everybody.
61 graduates.
Class of 61.
Get off the class.
Sarah should be there. This one's not.
The class of 61.
Oh, yeah, Marcus. Right here.
I did. I didn't see your name.
Class of 61 in there. Class of 61. Wow, that's a lot of people. Everybody. Let me go get another chair. There's my husband.
My husband's not out there. On my camera, Sandy. I'm in the class of 6. Oh, we're not Billy. I don't know how to make this.
We just barely touched. You're gonna have to back up.
I don't see that.
Yikes. Where is he?
Okay, we're going to need some of you women to sit in the chairs in the front. Or else you won't be able to follow them in.
Y'all look this way too.
I'm gonna get some of the rest of you women some chairs because you're not all gonna fit.
Just take a little bit at a time. People taking
Let me get on the other side. Excuse me. The other side.
No, we're gonna have to back up.
Billy, I can't get them all. No, it's not hard. I can't get half of them.
All right. Do half and then half.
I'll get this half. I'll start with that part here. Okay. Wait.